Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Athletics franchise here on MLB The Show 24, where today I know we've spent a lot of time in the All-Star break, but we have one more episode to get through before we get back with the Major League Club. We're going to go back down on the farm for the 14th edition, and this one's going to be different because we just had our 2026 MLB Draft. So today, I want to take a look at where our players that we selected in the 2025 MLB Draft are doing a year later. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. We're going to go through all of our draft picks from last year, not in chronological order, but as they appear. So we're going to go start off first in Double-A. First pitcher we're going to talk about is Kirby Ladd, our 4th round pick last year, number 107th overall out of Nebraska, who wasn't really talked about that much this season, but he's got a pretty high ceiling. Kirby Ladd is currently pitching in Double-A with the Midland Rockhounds as he gets the nod today, and he's been pitching pretty good, and MLB has him ranked as the 86th best prospect in all of baseball, which is pretty good considering some of the guys that we drafted last year. We've highlighted Charlie Rowe a lot and company down in AAA. But Kirby Ladd's putting together a pretty solid campaign despite this 2-run home run he gives up here against the Arkansas Travelers. But Kirby Ladd is a B overall left-handed starting pitcher down here at Double-A. As far as ETA, I think Kirby Ladd, despite being a 67 overall, I'll say late 2027. I almost want to say 2028. I don't want to rush him or anything. But just because our pitching is not in the best spot, I can see Kirby Ladd potentially getting a shot at like next September call-ups. So because of that, I'll say his ETA is late 2027. Next guy we'll take a look at is the guy we've highlighted a lot this year in the Down on the Farm episodes. That's the number 4 overall pick last year, Charlie Rowe out of Jamaica, who we know by now is absolutely raking at Double-A. That continues hitting over 345 going into this game. Not much really else to say about Charlie Rowe that has not been said already. Except, we're really going to take our time with him. He plays first base. He's a good contact bat. Not going to hit for a ton of power. But Charlie Rowe, we're going to not rush him. We have Ryan Noda currently at first base, who has a couple more years of team control. And I feel fine just letting Rowe develop down here in the minors. He'll spend probably all of this year in Double-A. Next year, he'll get a shot at Triple-A. And I'll say his ETA is 2028. I think we're going to give him a solid 2 years in the minors. He's only 18. He'd be about 20 years old at that point, and his bat would really be developed. And I think 2028 is a good time. We'll see Charlie Rowe in the majors. Not going to rush him. Only 5'11", a little bit shorter for a first baseman. But I think Charlie Rowe has good upside with the bat despite that C potential. Next guy we haven't talked about this year is Barry Bonds. No, not that Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds we selected last year with the 167th pick, who we may have selected just because of the meme of the name. But nonetheless, Barry Bonds is an organization out of Southeast Louisiana College last year. He's been at Double-A. He's been pitching okay. Hasn't been the best start. Has not pitched a ton with the Rockhounds. As far as ETA for him, I really don't know. He's a C potential guy who's a 60 overall currently. There's really no pathway to the majors for Barry Bonds. He's good minor league depth. Maybe one day he'll get a chance with the pitching clutch being so low and the home runs and the walks not being his strength as well as the hits. Not sure what the future holds for Barry Bonds at the major league level, but for now, we'll enjoy his name in all of the memes down in the minors, currently at Double-A. The last minor league Double-A guy we're going to take a look at is the interesting one, is Rolando Castro, who we selected with the number 40th overall pick last year in the competitive balance round A. If you remember, Castro was the number 1 prospect going into last year's draft. So much that if you look at the draft preview episode from a year ago, he was the thumbnail for that episode. He was the top guy, but he was injured. An injury was discovered during his physical, and it's really impacted the way he's delivered the ball. Out of Puerto Rico, he's a good, solid potential guy, but there's just long-term skepticism with that injury. What could it be? He's currently a 67 overall C potential guy. I do think he could get to the majors relatively soon. I think he's still got a career in the majors. Might not be as high as a lot of people expected, but I'm still happy with Castro. He's recently got the call to Double-A, and he's pitched lights out so far. So Castro seems to be okay. Now, just because we're done with Double-A doesn't mean we're done. As we take a look at the score real quick, as the Double-A Rockhounds lost this game 8-6 to the Arkansas Travelers, who are the Double-A affiliates of the Mariners. This one actually went into 10 innings. But we have some more guys to talk about How about we go down to single A ball? Yes, we're going to take a look at our Class A team, the Lansing Lugnuts, who are playing their yearly game to open the season against the Michigan State Spartans, a little crosstown battle, because we have a couple guys in single A I want to talk about that we drafted last year who actually could have a future. So when I say this is as realistic as it gets, the most in-depth series on YouTube, I'm not lying. We're going all the way down to single A to take a look at a couple of players, including the guy who's on the mound today, Jason McFarland, the number 77 overall pick last year out of New Life Christian Academy in North Carolina last year. He's an interesting fella. He's got the hair dyed, growing it, straightening it right now. So he's got a personality, but he's also got the highest prospect in our organization tag currently. He's the number 63 overall prospect in baseball, believe it or not. And he's been dealing down here at High-A Lansing Lugnuts. Now, I don't think he'll get the call up to Double A anytime soon. I think he will spend most of this year in Single A, a lot like Rowe and company. I'm not necessarily trying to rush him, which, side note here, he gives up a base hit here. And look who that is getting that base hit. That is Rene Ortega. If you remember, he was our second-round pick last year who did not sign with our team. He's currently playing college ball at Michigan State. What a small world, Rene Ortega. Thanks for spurning our offer and not signing with the team, because he actually had pretty good potential. But nonetheless, back to Jason McFarland. Yes, he is the current top prospect in our organization now that players like Robbie Martin and Richie Veach are not considered rookies anymore, or Robbie Francisco. What a dive in the outfield by Ryder. That was a web gym type play. But McFarland's an 18-year-old, 60 overall B potential who has high potential. We'll see if he lives up to it, but again, it's going to take some development. You can see the colorful glove, the colorful personality. So Jason McFarland got some intrigue. Last guy we'll take a look at that we drafted last year, Elliot Gagnon in the 5th round, number 137 out of Northville High School in Ohio. So we actually went with a lot of young guys in this past draft class, which usually isn't my specialty. I usually go with, more guys that I feel pretty confident in their potential. But we went with a lot of young guys, specifically in the pitching department. Elliot Gagnon, he's the last guy we're highlighting today. Not much really about him. I don't like Barry Bonds the round after him. We didn't scout him a ton last year in the draft preview, and I'm not sure what his path to the majors currently is. He's a 62 overall C potential 18-year-old, so he's got at least time to develop. So maybe one day he will reach the majors, but I'm not going to put a yearly tag on him. The strikeouts per 9 are really down. He needs a little bit more work. And that'll end that game as we do win this one 8-6 as well against the Michigan State Spartans. The Lugnuts actually usually dominate this game yearly, which is kind of cool, but it's kind of cool to take a look at the single A team. But that does it for all of our draft picks. I thought it would be cool to take a look at some High-A ball and kind of highlight these guys and see where their path has gone a year later. I promise next episode we will get back with the Major League Club and see how the Athletics start their second half of the season. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. Let me know in the comments if you like more of these in-depth, like all the way down to like Class A games. If so, I don't mind doing this a little bit more frequently. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.